Welcome or welcome back, depending whether you're new or not. March is over, which means a lot of snapshots have arrived to Minecraft. There are new blocks, new mobs, and a bunch more features to check out. So that will be what we do today. Starting off with Snapshot 22W11A, which is the first snapshot of March, and it is also the first Windows 19 wild update snapshot. For those of you who are unaware, Windows 19, the next Minecraft update, is the wild update, and this snapshot added a lot of content, so we should take it really slowly because the line is really long, you can just tell. Starting with Sculk, they're here with 5 blocks. I think you already heard the Sculk sensing. I don't know. Starting off with I forgot how to speak. Starting off with Sculk block. This is just a decoration block as of now. You can just take a look at it. This is a decoration block. It's called just Sculk, not a Sculk block. I wrote Sculk. This is a Sculk. Alright. This Sculk, and it animates if you haven't noticed yet. Then we got Sculk. Can you just shut up? Then we got Sculk Veins. This is alright. Then we got Sculk Veins. These, why am I pronouncing this wrong? Alright. Then we got Sculk Veins. This is also a decoration block as of now. You can just see it right here. Do these animate? No, they don't. Then we got Sculk Sensor, the things that have been beeping for hours. It can detect vibration and give redstone signal. And I think if you already know this thing about this, like when it detects, oh god, I hope I. Alright. You can see this is also used to make wireless redstone. We have already seen this stuff, like not these two, like this thing was already in the 1.17 snapshot. Like it has existed for quite a while now. And then we got Sculk Catalyst. You might be wondering why it's not here. Well, these two things are really dangerous. Alright. Then we got Sculk Catalyst. This thing turns XP into Sculk patches of Sculk Features block. Remember these two things? These are actually used to make Sculk patches, and this is the main block, and these are like the boundaries, and this thing creates it. We're gonna get a quick demo of it. And then there's the Sculk Streaker. This thing responds to the Sculk sensors, that's why I had to remove them, and it calls the Warden. Yes, it's here. Yep, it's here. We're gonna discuss about that later on. And that's why I turned it off, because it's really annoying. It can also detect if you step on it. Like if you step on it, you can just hear the annoying sound. And in the subtitles you can see Warden emerging, and there it is, Mr. Warden emerging from nowhere. They need to work on this. So before moving on, I'm gonna give you all some quick demonstration of the Sculk blocks. A Sculk patch consists of Sculk veins, blocks and veins, like I told you. Like look at this. These are like the main blocks, the Sculk blocks, and the veins are its boundaries. And no, this is not handmade. This is actually was made naturally through one of these. And I'm gonna just quickly get a sword, spawn a zombie, and if we just kill this thing, you can see that it creates a patch. And oh my goodness, that is not the symbol I wanted the patch to be made of. But the size of the patch, like how large it will be, completely depends on the amount of XP the mob drops. Like let's say the mob drops around, I don't know what mob drops mostly. Let's say just random guess, piglin brute. Like let's say we spawned a piglin brute. Let me just do that real quick. Let me just spawn the piglin brute, and let's kill it before it turns into a zombified piglin. And you can see the patch is way larger, like a bit too large. Like it's seriously a lot larger. Alright, next up we got the Sculk Streaker. And just do this. We already saw this. We already even had a demonstration up there. And yeah, let me just show it again. I don't know if you haven't seen it clearly already. There's a Warden. I'm gonna kill it with commands because it's gonna take ages to kill the Warden with hand, and you will see later why. Oh, and yeah, it doesn't have to be directly on top of the EXP. It just has to be in its presence of radius of I think 8 to 16 blocks, somewhere between that. And you can just see, like if I press a sensor over here, it still actually streaks. Oh goodness me. So along with being the most advanced mob yet, the Warden is also the most annoying mob, and I've proven it. Moving on, the mobs that die in the presence of catalyst don't drop their EXP as it used to create a Sculk patch. As we saw down there, the Warden or the Pillager Brute or the Zombie, none of them drop their EXP because it's just used up by the catalyst. To get any block of the Sculk family, you need Sculk touch, or else they just drop EXP. I'm gonna quickly demonstrate it. This is actually the fourth take. I've oofed up a lot of time to record this thing, but here's what it does. Like if I mine it with just normal hoe, it drops EXP, and if I mine it with slick touch one, then drops a block. And you can actually see that if I mine it with a pick, it takes longer than a hoe. So a hoe is the best tool for it, like I just said here. And yeah, this place now looks ruined. Moving on to the deep dark. I should probably change to creative. Yep, this is the deep dark. It's pretty obvious. If the Sculk blocks are here, they will probably add the deep dark as well. And this place is dimly lit, designed to strike fear. It's actually exact words of the Mojang in the Changelog. It's made to strike fear in the heart of the bravest players. And Sculk patches generate here and no mobs spawn here, and that's because the Warden lives here. And I'm pretty sure it's because something like no other mob is brave enough to take on the Warden or something like that. I can just demonstrate something like I will walk down. There's shriekers here, like natural shriekers. Did it spawn to Warden? No, that's just one. You might be wondering that I've been showing the Warden so much, but I haven't even talked about it, and that's because I have to talk about it in detail later on, because it's not a part of this snapshot actually. Moving on, frogs. Yes, they're here. The things showcased in, the mobs showcased in Minecraft Live are here, and there are three varieties. There's a temperate, which spawns in normal biomes, like I'm in a bird's forest right now. It will spawn in neutral biomes and in swamp. The warm variant will spawn in hot biomes like desert, mesa, and in the nether. And the cold variant spawns in the cold biomes like tundra, the jagged peaks, and the end. And I don't think these two actually natural spawn. Don't think you'll find natural frogs in the nether or the end. These you have to grow them naturally. By grow them, I mean using Tadpoles. We'll get through that. Frogs can jump, swim, walk, and croak. And you can see right here. Let me just grab some frog. You can see that they will croak eventually. See, this one can swim, they're walking, they're croaking, they can even jump. And none of them are jumping. Just jump. Can one of you jump please, so I can can you call this jumping? I don't think they can jump pretty high. That's why I had to actually put barrier blocks on top of them, because some frogs managed to jump out of there, and I can't get them on footage right now. I'll try to get them on footage later on, and here's a clip if I got one. And then we of course got tadpoles, which are like the baby version of frog. And frogs will eat small slimes. That's the thing, that's their fruit. That's what causes tadpoles. Like I will just show a quick I'm such a small slime. That's slime, like there's a slime, they will eat it, and it drops a slime ball. Like look at this. And if slime balls can be used to breed them, so if I just put slime ball and slime ball, then one of the frogs will go on to the water and then lay eggs. I don't know what's happening, but this is frogs. Oh, these are called frog spawn. Oh, I thought they were called frog eggs, but whatever. You can actually walk through them, and these are what lays tadpoles. Like once after a certain amount of time, this frog spawn will hatch into not just one, plenty of tadpoles, which we can see like right here. And you can actually get buckets. Go in there, and you can get water bucket and then buckets of tadpole. Now you might be thinking, why do we need buckets of tadpole? Is it just for decoration? But no, these are actually for this variants. Like let's say frogs will probably spawn naturally only in the swamp as of now, and so you go to the swamp, get some tadpoles in the bucket, and then you take them to a desert and put them in a water in the desert. And when the tadpoles grow up, they go into the frog variant depending on the biome. So if you like take a tadpole to the nether, then when it grows up it will be a warm one, but that's not possible because you can't have water in the nether. And when you put tadpole out of water, they'll just flop around like fish. Moving on, frogs still can do more. Right, I want to mention all this, but frogs can also eat small magma cubes. Like they can eat small slimes, they can also eat small magma cubes. So the other one has laid the eggs. And depending on the frog type they eat, depending on the frog type, the magma cube will drop a froglet block. Now I know this seems really confusing the way I said it. I really need speech therapy. And what it is, I'm going to show a quick demonstration so you can understand it better. I'm going to go to the nether, and in here I got some magma cube spawn eggs. Now let's start off with the temperate frog. So you can see it's the frog right here, and this is a big magma cube. They won't eat it, so let me just turn it into a small magma cube. And okay, that was not supposed to happen. Okay, so if it eats it, it drops an ochre frog light. So that's a frog light that this frog will drop. Now the warm frog, this will, when this eats a small magma cube, it drops a pearlescent frog light. And when the cold one eats a magma cube, it drops the verdant frog light. Now these frog light blocks are actually decoration blocks. Like you can actually see, they emit light, a light level of 15. They made a light level of 15, and they are actually rotation blocks. Like if I put them like this, that's a texture. If I turn this around, then that's their texture. And then if I can actually just like put this like that, they can actually be of 3 different axes, as you can like see right here, all 3 of them. And it's like really cool. Like now you got bunch more colored light blocks, and I think it's pretty nice. Like this will be probably used in a lot of cool decoration ways. And that's it. That covers frogs, tadpoles, and that's all the features we have so far. Like it's really cool. But moving on, we got mangrove blocks and mud blocks. Mangrove trees aren't here yet. Let's take a look at the blocks. Yeah, this is what I tried. This is a replica of what I think the swamp will look like. These things aren't actually natural generating yet. I made them by hand. So I'm gonna quickly take a look at all these blocks. This is the mangrove block. This is the stripped mangrove block. Mangrove wood, stripped mangrove wood, mangrove roots, muddy mangrove roots. This one, not this one. Mangrove leaves, mangrove planks, mangrove plank stairs or mangrove stairs, mangrove slabs, mangrove burden, mangrove fence gate, mangrove fence, mangrove trapdoor and mangrove door. They look really cool. Mangrove pressure plate and mangrove sign. And then we also got mud, packed mud, mud bricks, mud brick stairs, mud brick walls, and mud brick slabs. And last but not least, we got propagals, which are the saplings for mangrove. You can place them on like these things, and I suppose on dirts as well. And when you grow them, they will turn into a mangrove tree, they will grow into a mangrove tree once mangrove trees are added, that is. And how do you obtain this? Well, bone meal there, that's stage 1. And then I got one with this. Yep, stage 2, stage 3, stage 4, stage 5. And now if I harvest it, I get a propagal which I can plant. Last but not least, 3D directional audio, best experience with headphones. Now what it is, I think many of you can already guess by the name. If you go to music and sounds, you can turn on directional audio, and the description says uses HRTF, which I have no idea what it means, based directional audio to improve the simulation of 3D sounds, blah 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 blah. And it also mentions the fact that you need an HRTF compatible audio hardware, and I'm pretty sure I don't have it because I don't feel a difference. But what it does is, like, if there's a zombie on this side and you're like playing with headphones and you're looking over here, then the zombie sounds will actually come to your right stereo, like from your right side. I think I never played anything with 3D directional audio, but that's my speculation. That's what I think it is. Next up, Snapshot 22W12A. You can see that snapshot was such a huge snapshot. It took so long just to cover that one, and I'm so bad at talking. New effect, darkness. This is the effect that was showcased in Michael Live, which when the Warden appears. So if I just click this button, I will get the darkness effect, and you can just see how dim it gets with this effect. Like, it's barely, anything is barely visible, and I'm under the sky. So you can just imagine this effect will only be available in the underground, I'm pretty sure. This is given by the Shrieker and the Warden, so you just know that this is gonna be so dangerous. Like, in the underground, you need a lot of torches because the deep dark is already very badly lit up, and yep, if it's already badly lit up and it's underground, then you know this effect is gonna cause a lot of trouble. And there's also an accessibility. Let me just clear this effect first. There's also an accessibility slider, darkness pulsing. If you go to accessibility settings, there's this option called darkness pulsing, and this controls how much darkness effect pulses when a Warden or Sculk streaker gives it to you. And you can just control this. I mean, if you don't have any problem with this, then I will recommend you keeping it 100, and if you want to just cheat, you can just turn it off. Then it's not gonna be any fun, you know. I mean, it's your choice really. Like, it's amazing how Mojang gives you all this option, but this is not it. You might think that this snaps. I probably already shown this in camera, but yep. Boats with chests are here. When you think that micro snaps are big enough already, there's more things. So yeah, you cannot carry chest in boats, and if I press E, then I can access the chest, and you can see there are all the varieties: oak, spruce, birch, jungle, acacia, dark, and even the mangrove boat with chest. I mean, I think I haven't showcased the mangrove boat yet. Yep, this is the mangrove boat, and this thing comes in a chest variety as well, which we'll look at right now. This thing can be used for some clever camera as the chest boat. I'm gonna show an example. Let me just get down. This is a mangrove boat with a chest, I think. Mangrove boat with chest. Yep, I've said it right. So now I was out of ideas on what to do now. That's why I made this contraption. You can see there's 64 diamonds, and if I stand up, like press S press B, you can see the hitbox. And if I put this hitbox on top of this hopper, it can actually work with hoppers and with droppers. If I just move it along, the hoppers will suck out the diamonds. And oh yeah, if you're on it, then you press E to access it, and if you're off it, then you hold shift and then right click to access it. So the dropper is taking it out, and the dropper is putting it back in it, like putting the objects back in. But the dropper is a bit slow compared to the hopper, so like the items are going out faster than they're coming back. But this is just a really bad representation of what you can do with boats with chest. Like, many people have built such crazy things, like the fastest way to actually transfer items is actually through boats with chest. And here's a footage of a machine made by sliced lime, and it's really crazy. Like, there will be a link in the description to the whole video so you can see what it's actually like. And these things are just crazy. This is that I made one of the worst contraptions. I really need speech therapy. I'm messing up so many lines so badly. Does anyone know why I'm messing this things up? Can someone help me? Moving on, we got new enchantment, Swift Sneak. This is a leggings enchantment. I'm a enchant 3 leggings real quick. So this is Swift Sneak 1, this is Swift Sneak 2, and this is Swift Sneak 3. So what this does, if I wear it, then like, let me just first of all without wearing, like, you can see that I move like this speed, and if I hold shift, I'm slowed down. If I wear Swift Sneak 1, you can see that I'm moving a bit faster. Swift Sneak 2, I'm moving even faster. And Swift Sneak 3, when you're holding shift, you walk the same speed of walking. You can see that I'm moving so fast. This is really useful when you're encountering the Warden, because you know, during the Warden you should not be walking, you should be shifting. I will explain that why later on if you already don't know, but this is gonna be really helpful. And moving on, we got Warden. Like, finally that's here. Okay, there's a Warden here. It's always been there. I haven't actually killed it ever, or I should not be dropping down there. I'm gonna see how it looks. There's the spawn egg for a Warden homies. And let's take a look at a Warden clearly. If you press this, you can see this is a Warden. And if we do this, we have all the information of the Warden, and there's a lot of new things. Like in the memories tab, you can see there's sniff cooldown and then vibration cooldown. So what this basically means is that the Warden not only can sense vibration, it can also smell you, and it also has a lot of other things. This is anger, and yeah, that's basically it. I think I don't see anything else. The health, however, is 500. This is the Wither, just for reference, has 300 health points. Alright, the Wither has just 300 health points. So the Warden has more health than the Wither. Warden is one of the most advanced mob in Minecraft to this day. Like I just said, it has so many cool abilities, and So I'm gonna just explain the changelog instead of writing a bazillion signs because it's gonna take ages. What I'm gonna do is just I'm gonna read the changelog what it says and then explain it to you. And if you want, you can skip to the timeline on the screen right now or the next chapter to not hear it. So just like Sculk says, this terrifying creature uses vibration as a means to navigate the environment. And what this means is like they can't see. We already know that they are blind. So what they will do is they will use vibrations as a way to navigate around the world. So they will use vibrations to do everything. And when vibrations aren't enough, they will use smell to track down their prey. And if you can also see them sometimes sniffing. You can even hear him sniffing right now. See? And they will also dig down after a while. And here's the thing, you order like the Warden is a mob which you should avoid and not fight because it's really hard to kill them. They do a lot of damage. So the things that you gotta be careful is that the Warden can sense your vibrations and it can sniff you, and if you collide with the Warden, it will automatically know where you are. It will notice you. And the Wardens, you may not think like the Wardens are always there, but they are. Like we just saw, like just they're, according to Mojang, Wardens are always there. They're just sleeping on the ground, and when the shriekers call them, they wake up. We just saw that how annoying it could be. Like you're just walking around like chilling, and then someone plays a shrieker behind your house, and then boom, Wardens in your house. Now there is a way to avoid the Warden. Like you just gotta somehow make sure that the Warden doesn't notice you for 60 seconds. If the Warden doesn't notice you or get angry for 60 seconds, then it will dig back underground and despawn, just like it happened like right there. And if you have like pushed the Warden beyond its anger, like every time you punch it or like throw a projectile somewhere, then it will get angry. And if you like push the Warden beyond its threshold of anger, then it will roar and charge at its prey, and it's gonna be super fast. And you can see its anger beating on its chest. The faster the hearts are beating, the more angry it is. If you make like what I was saying is that if I throw projectiles within 5 seconds, like I shot one and within 5 seconds I threw another, then that angers the Warden. And if I just throw projectile once, I'm not at the Warden. If I throw a projectile once and then not throw another for 5 seconds, then the Warden will not be angry, and you can actually, take loot from the ancient cities. And Wardens will also disable seal, like just like Axe, Warden can also disable seals, and they do not drop any loot because the Warden isn't a creature meant to be killed. It's meant to be avoided. So you should not be killing the Warden because that's probably stupid and you'll probably end up dying. And the best feature of all the snapshots, Waterlogged Leaves. You can just see it, they just look so pretty. They used to be in Bedrock and now they're in Java as well. You can now Waterlogged Leaves, and you can just see that there is some pixels that the water isn't reaching in the leaf, and if I place another Waterlogged leaf on top, then the leaf at the bottom completely fills out. And no, I didn't did any debug stick magic to keep the water contained. Just place it and the water is contained. Break it, water is flowing, contain water. And once you contain the water, you can of course take the water out and then break the leaf. This is gonna be such an epic thing. People are gonna be so creative with it. I can already just feel it. Your house flooded? Oh, leaves. And last but not least, technical changes of Snapshot 22W11A, because there was no technical changes in this one. This is the end of the video. If you don't want to listen to the technical changes, you can just leave right now. But I'm gonna just quickly go over them. First of all, data pack format is now 10 and resource pack format is now 9. If you make data pack or resource pack, in the pack.mc meta you gotta add the thing called pack format. And now for data pack it's 10 and resource pack it's 9. 3D blending, it supports 3D blending. So now Minecraft supports 3D biome blending, so it will blend the underground biomes as well. So in 118 we were introduced to biome blending, so like the old generation blends with the new one, and now instead of doing it the 2D surface thing, it does it 3D like it does it completely third dimensionally, so it affects the y-axis as well. So now the underground biomes will also, the old underground generation will also blend with the new one. That's what I suppose is saying. I'm not just sure because I haven't touched it out completely. Data and resource pack filters in the pack.mc meta, and it's written in this section, simply filter out the pack. So in data pack or resource pack in the pack.mc meta, there's a new section called filters, and here's some examples of what it looks like. And for example, let's say I don't want this biome code, like I just don't want it, this is useless for the timing when I'm testing the data pack. I don't want it. So instead of like just copy pasting it out of the folder and then later putting it in, I can just write in the pack.mc meta the filter that don't load this one, and if I write that, when the game will be loading the data pack, it will just pretend like that file doesn't exist. You can do that with resource pack as well, like I don't want this text so don't load it, you can just write it in the filter instead of like deleting it or putting it out of the folder. Next up, new registry for world preset. World presets are used to predefine the way a world type generates. For example, amplified single biome super flat, the things you see in the create world menu node. Adding a custom world type through data pack will add that type as an option in the create world screen. So now you can add a custom world type through data packs, and when you go to create screen, if the data is loaded, it should show up in the world type where it shows the amplified super flat debug. Along with those things, it will show up your custom world type. The feature failure location predicates is now called structures. So for those of you who mess with predicates, you probably understand way better than I did, because I don't mess with predicates at all. But what it's basically saying is that the feature field, like there's fields like, okay, this field and then this field, like for example, if you mess with JSON code at all, then you would know what I mean, or any kind of code. So before you have to write the thing feature, so the game will know, oh, this is the feature field. Now you have to write structures instead. I don't know if this is the same in predicates and generation, but in generation a feature is anything from like the tree or a patch of grass. You can just see it, place feature. These are things called feature in generation, and I'm pretty sure it is, but I'm not 100% sure, but it probably is the same thing in predicates, but it could be different. And now it's called structures in predicates only, not in anywhere else. And that's all the technical changes, including all the features in the 2 snapshots we got in the month of March. Anyways, this video was probably one of the worst videos we've seen on the internet, cause my speech was so broken. But I hope you enjoyed it, and if you watched it till the end, if you've seen the screen, if you're seeing this, that means you watched it till the end or you skipped till the end. That means a lot, cause this video took a lot of time to make. The editing, the recording, and especially the making of this map, it took a lot of time to make. So either ways, if you just skip till the end or even watch till the end, it means a lot. And thank you for watching. Stay sharp along with me, and I'll see you all in my next video whenever it comes out. Bye.